Welcome to the AC podcast. This is the August 19th evening edition. New week ahead of us, Monday night. I'm your host, Andrew, and this is
Caleb.
this is the AC podcast. Again, get that, remember that, stick with it. The
Write
new
it down.
hottest YouTube show. We have our what to help us here, so make sure and help yourself by writing this down. AC podcast. Anyway, we're going to get into mostly Animal Crossing news for a bit. We'll start off with an intro of sorts. We're going to be talking about Short Hike, a game that's been out for a little bit. We can recommend it to you and why it's relevant to why you're watching this. We have Skater XL, which has a game of sorts to replace a blunder of EA's. We'll have that coming to you pretty soon here. And then, of course, another little retro game treat here for the masses here on YouTube. I know it's a little bit short. Well, it's not too short actually. It's all over the place, but we'll be featuring a lot of these. Oh my god, I'm so out of it right now. Okay, we'll just cut this whole thing out. Let's see. And then, of course, to top it all off, some Animal Crossing news for every one of y'all. I know there's a lot of fans out there, myself included. Been since I was a young kid here. We got the merchandise to hype it all up. Some Animal Crossing for the Switch specifically. I know.
Is it March?
March 2020, I think, is the official date coming at you. Yeah, a bit of a long wait ahead of us. So, what say you start off today, Caleb? So, man, I'll tell you what, school's starting back up again.
Yep, for both of us.
Yeah, I'm going to a day school. I think he'll be going to evening. We're just pretty much working our way through our lives here.
For sure.
This is one of our favorite hobbies to do every now and then. We've been doing it since we're young kids, and we've been wanting to follow the pursuits of all the other hopeful YouTubers out there, become famous and hopefully recognized, of course. Just a real genuine hobby of ours, and this is how we're going to start it off. Later you'll see a big unboxing from us. Alright, Caleb, so how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing good, just a little tired after work.
Yeah, a little tired, yeah.
But I came here ready to start this discussion for the viewers.
So what do you think about this Short Hike game coming out? I did a little bit of research onto it here. Been getting back into the whole retro craze here. Not retro craze, but in general with games and kind of a feel of nostalgia. I usually play off of these. I saw a nice little article here. I was just wondering your thoughts on kind of an indie developer coming out here. Out of the woodwork.
It does look pretty interesting. I'm really liking the art style here and the characters. Giving me a little bit of an Animal Crossing vibe.
Yeah, that's what it said in the article. Well, I think, in my opinion, it gives me more of a Wind Waker vibe. In my opinion, it has a little bit of the same appeal, I think, with the cell. It's not too cell shaded, but it just has a genuine Nintendo DS era 2005-2006 feel for me. I like the bird's eye views perspective. I think that's something that doesn't get touched up on a lot nowadays. To me, I think they're wanting to keep it a little more linear, especially nowadays. I think I think it'll be a different approach, of course, but I think it'll hopefully be one that a lot of people can appreciate. Hopefully, one people can back up. Maybe we can see a little bit of this later on.
Sure, and it's a bit of a shorter game, adventure type game. But for those who don't have a whole lot of time to play, that's a good thing. I'm sure there's quite a few side quests you can do that makes it a little more worthwhile and gives you a little more introspection into the game, allowing you to explore a little bit. I always like that in a game.
I think a $99 price tag is more alluring too, at least for the U.S. viewers here.
No doubt.
I think especially if you just go around the Switch store like I do, every week or two just to see the random deals they might have, similar to Steam. I think you can really find some nice hidden gems. I guess one of the benefits of the more digital era for a lot of games nowadays. I think for me, especially being a collector of sorts, I think learning to adapt to a digital only future. I'm not saying a lot of these games will take over, of course, but when you see a couple changes, I think wanting some more incentives like this, I think, is a good reason to keep people coming. I think I think that's really the way of the future, especially with the gap between AAA developers and these more indie studios with how much money and the budget that goes into these. So, just not a general endorsement, nothing, just from our interest alone.
Yeah.
I think this would really succeed.
Yeah, definitely something we should check out, and hopefully y'all will too.
Right. All right, Skate XL. I'm not really okay. So, for a while, a lot of people, they dispute if Skate 3
was the one.
Like the best game ever. I don't really get it too much. I see, they flood EA's pages, a lot of them. I think, it's something to go after for sure, especially with their whole Anthem debacle. Like, what kid that, how could they screw this up kind of deal. That's my view on it. But I think a new developer like this, Easy Day Studios, looks like some kind of indie promotion. I think the only thing wrong with indie is on Kickstarter, you don't know if you don't know how it's going to end up usually. It's kind of a hit or miss.
For sure. It might be something worth checking out though as well. It has from the gameplay footage, low profile third person view, which is kind of nice for the skating games. Of course everyone's going to be comparing it to Tony Hawk Pro Skater and the EA Skate games. But this one does look promising for, I believe it's a 2020 release. Not too much solidity in the date, but it'll be something to look after as it progresses.
Yeah, coming out on Xbox One as well. So, for me, the whole appeal is that it's coming to the Switch. But I'm not sure what the deal is really with Microsoft and games these days. Like, if they want to be able to be played on anything. Like, I don't know if there's a deal with Apple they've had that was rumored before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the deal with keeping it off PS4. Sony. I'm not sure what kind of deal there is. It's not been announced for Sony yet, I don't think. But for the Switch, mainly, I think on the go, like how would they use the Joy-Cons? I want to see if it stacks up to the quality. I will admit, EA, they kind of do know what they're doing. They had it perfected, I think. Or they're one of the only skateboarding, besides I guess Pro Skater, which is more of an arcade game. I'm not too crazy about it. I've had PS1 growing up, so really just depends.
For sure. Pro Skater is definitely a fun one growing up. I think Skate 3 and other skate games had a lot more replayability.
I think the skating formula can be so easy if you know what you're doing. Yeah. I don't even know about so easy, but it should be done with their kind of. I don't know why they don't recognize the appeal. Like, most major companies don't.
Yeah,
if people are flooding your Instagram, like Instagram of all things, flooding your Instagram pages with skate forward, that's all you can find.
I'm not gonna lie, I've done it a little bit myself in all the change.org petitions.
Yeah, come on, EA, what are you doing? You're letting other companies.
But I think they did a good job on the online, because that still is going to my knowledge.
Yeah.
So that'll be a thing to look for in Skater XL, if they'll have any sort of online gaming or anything that you can play with your friends.
That's the main issue for me. Like, how are you going to do online? How is the customization going to be done?
Yes.
How are you going to give people more options, more of a reason to come back to skate? A lot of people, I hope they don't give up hope, you have to give people hope, that something like this will come out again. You can't just leave them in the dark, EA. Like, I think there's always going to be something. Like, there's always going to be something bigger and better coming out. So, you need to get with the times, EA, I think. Stop, wasting your money on microtransactions. The biggest short-term gains of that you can think of. So, quit laying off your employees,
For sure.
Quit shutting down every studio and blaming it on... you're kind of running out of excuses when you have to start shutting them down. So
yeah, hopefully Skater XL will at least quench our thirst of this new skating game. Like you said, the customability, that was a big thing for me in Skate, and stuff like the Hall of Meat, just a little bit of unrealistic things in the Skate game, but made it really fun. although overall it was pretty realistic in terms of the skating moves and all the tricks you could do. I just thought it was really fun overall. So hopefully Skater XL can come up with something here.